All right, let's call this meeting to order. First item of business, welcome of guests and public comments. Any of you guests out there or public speakers want to say something? Go ahead, Robert.
I appreciate the heads up on the water because, you know, when you're a one-man band, it's sort of, you gotta jump when you get water and how to take care of it. And last month, you know, you were here, and every year we gotta write off these 20-year taxes. And Rose is always very helpful on giving me information on how that works. This, I think probably 60% of that problem is our appraisal district. And I don't know how to deal with them. But 40% of the problem is this Calum and Lombard, the one that you contract with to take care of these delinquent tax sales. And in El Paso, they're on a Zoom sale. They never used to be. You know, they save money because they don't have to have so many deputies there. But there's a minimum bid there, and the city has it. And they collect taxes for 45 entities in the county. And I go to a lot of these sales, and the same company, they handle West Texas, and they don't do that. They have in-person sales in Culberson and Hudspeth. And in Hudspeth County, I believe they've got like 30,000 parcels that are struck off, that create nothing, and after 20 years, they're gone. In Culberson County, they have one parcel in the whole county. They don't deal with all their finagling because whatever's covered under the lawsuit is there. And once it's struck off, everything that isn't covered cures interest, and it's so big that they can't ever be sold for profit. Nobody wants to buy it. That's why everybody's got so many of them. In Culberson County, they have one. When Calum and Lombard come out there, they sell them for the price, and you don't have to do your research with the court and stuff to find out what they're paid for. And if they're struck off, the appraisal district takes and resells them. You put in a bid and they'll get rid of it. They have one parcel in the entire county. And this Calum and Lombard, they're supposed to present offers to all the entities, in other words, the school district or the EMS or whatever, and they don't do that. If they don't think it's a reasonable offer, their attorney says no. And I've gone to some of the school districts and told them the situation, and they, you know, I know the school districts, I go to their auctions, they get rid of computers and chairs that they never use. I know they have an unlimited budget, like the military, just dump stuff in the ocean. But I would think that in place of you all losing your stuff on that, you would encourage them to take reasonable offers on some of this stuff. And I don't know the solution to the CAD. I protest stuff, and I know y'all don't bottom fish the markets for slum stuff and you know, the stuff that I do. But you know, I've got some of the stuff in Quadria. I've got stuff that's valued at $7,000 an acre, and right next to it, they've got them valued at $175,000 an acre, undeveloped ground. They're deplorable. But I think to put stuff back on the tax rolls like Culberson County for everybody's benefit would be beneficial. Than just let them go 20 years and fall off the face of the earth. That doesn't help anybody. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thanks. I'm sure Rose heard that.
Yes, I did.
Okay, anybody else?
I'd like to welcome Dr. Juan Fernandez. He started working at the United States Bureau of Reclamation. He is helping us with grants.
Okay.
Woody had retired.
Oh, good.
And so, yeah, he's been very helpful in the short time he's been here. So thanks for visiting us. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. You want, anything you want to add? No? All right. Well, let's go on here. Next item of business, we've got our minutes. January 15th. All right, nobody saw anything. There's a motion to approve by Jared. Second by Larry. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. All right, let's go real quickly to the next minutes. They should even be quicker.
Motion to approve those.
Jared made a motion that we approve those minutes. Anyone want a second?
Second.
All right. Mike second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. All right, both minutes are approved. Where did Lisa go?
I'm right here.
Okay. There's the ball. Going into you.
Oh, sorry about
Well.
that, the ground being on this thing. We are requesting an appointment of Assistant Secretary for the Board. Mr. Brooks is currently our secretary, however, if the time is, if he's not able to get out here, we would like to have an alternate secretary.
So you'd like an alternate secretary so that if we wanna, if you can't find Arturo or somebody close enough. I can go. All right,
Yes, Mr. Brooks.
okay. So you need a nomination from the
Yes,
board?
yes.
Well, the most logical to me, I don't know, am I allowed to make nomination? Would be Jared, only because he lives right here.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Does he live right here? So do I hear a nomination from anybody?
I'll nominate Jared.
Oh, okay.
Second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we nominate Jarrett Rogers to be our secretary too?
It's our alternate secretary.
Alternate secretary.
Yes.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Boy, George's side got up there first.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Did he,
Thank you.
did you really have surgery on your foot, or was this all planned?
All right. Number 5, all right, Mary, you're already up. Sound like the mic's working, Mary. If you don't step on something.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mayor. Thank you, Lisa.
Our first financial report is our monthly. Our money market account dropped slightly to 4.40%.
Oh, they changed that monthly?
Yes, they can, and it's based upon the daily rate. At this moment, the SLNG Treasury bill has the 1-month rate at 4.37%.
Okay. 4.40, that's still pretty
Yeah,
good.
we're slightly above.
Yeah, that's very good. And the bank's glad to get it behind that. Okay, go on.
Our next report is our balance sheet.
Anybody got any questions about it? All right, Mary, take over again.
The following report is our net revenue report. We're 3 months into our fiscal.
Okay. Oh,
You
see,
know what, I think it's,
see, you're
do you
touching
think if we
something.
turn it off, you can speak up?
I can
No?
try. Yeah.
Okay.
She's doing it.
Okay.
She's doing it. Just don't step on wherever that was.
We're 3 months in on our net revenue. We're at 49% of our budget, our proposed budget for the year.
Okay. And I was gonna ask you on that, the third party, let's see, where are we at on that?
The
Year
third
to
party-
date 17, okay. We got budgeted 45,
Correct.
4.5.
Correct, and we have one quarter in. We do have 3 more to assess throughout the year.
Okay. Okay. That's good. We need that one. I notice your investment interest way down, right?
Yes.
And grants, no grant money yet
No,
for Riverside or anything?
no, we just submitted a request for reimbursement last week.
You know? Gentlemen, anybody see anything else? All right, Mary?
Our following report is our $500 check report.
No.
I did provide,
$1,000.
I'm sorry, $1,000 check report. I did provide an updated report. There was just a movement of certain line items, new columns that were added, which was the reimbursable. Under that reimbursable is the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, which is a pass-through. It is paid by Apostle Water, and then we have to turn around and issue out payment to the Bureau.
All right. That's that line 4.
Line 4.
That's line 4, guys.
There was line 4 that you had it back here, right?
It wasn't on the first.
I saw it.
It was on the second page prior.
Yeah.
Yes.
But remember, that is a fact, the city, and, be our contractor will pay that. Okay?
And the following column added is the district in-house projects, which is any work that we are doing to the island main.
Okay.
Which one's that?
Line items 7 and 8.
7 and 8?
Like, okay, on the new sheet.
Yeah, those are on
Okay, okay, I see it now.
in-house projects.
Okay.
Okay, and I was just trying to remember again, Hub International is our insurance carrier, is that right, mainly? Is that
Hubbard,
right?
Yes, yes it is.
there are brokers.
Have we had a big price increase on it? Because it seems like all these other, especially in my case, vehicle insurance, everything has gone up. How has Hub treated us, or they've gone up?
Yes, they have.
They have gone up, I mean, like any other insurance, like you've stated. But yes, they're very informative. They've let us know. In fact, I just got a breakdown on our new policy that I requested, and they're pretty fair.
Pretty fair.
Yes.
What's the percentage that's gone up? Because my insurance has gone up crazy.
What would you say, Mary?
10 to 12%.
Yeah, 10 to 12.
10 to 12%?
Yes.
Probably
Yeah,
12 being the
I had
highest,
some
probably.
increases of 50-60%.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all are out there looking for the best deal?
Yes, I mean, there are brokers. Hubbard National is actually a broker, sir,
Okay.
and they go out to the market every year to obtain carriers, and we compare. We always sit down and compare before.
All right. Was Hub International the D-Bargo, or was that
Yes, used to be.
before he sold it? Okay.
And is Ted Hogman in that bunch of insurances?
Ted Houghton was life insurance. Our
So
life,
but
yes.
he's on the life insurance
Yes.
separate.
But we're no longer with Ted Houghton.
So he's a broker.
He's also a broker,
Right, but HubZone is also a broker.
yes.
But we have a choice of choosing brokers, right?
Yes, we do.
So my question, and it always is my question, that every year prices go up, but I always like to compare, and I always believe in the, kind of like a farm team making it to the big league.
Yes.
In other words, compete to make to the top spot. Do we allow them, or do we get a competitive price from a competitive broker to see that HubZone is still giving us, not necessarily the best price maybe, but best value to allow some comparison? So when we ask that question, I know, well, HubZone was a little high, or they're still the best value price. That way we can see it and say, okay, this is the reason why we stay with HubZone, with Hub, because we've had them now for over 10, 15 years now.
It's probably been close to 8, maybe 8 or 9. Yeah, you're
So
probably.
it's a good stretch.
Yes.
So natural human nature is we get complacent, not that they are, but it's a natural tendency. So I just want to make sure that they're on their toes, whoever they are.
No, yes, they are, and just, so you know, every broker's gonna go out to the same market, so it really depends on the carriers. However, I will let you know that, yes, we work very well with Hub, and we're very satisfied with them. And they are the only broker that have charged us just a service fee. Every other broker that we had in the past, it's been a premium their fee has been attached to the premium. And when we connected with Hub, part of our, concern, Mary and I spoke to them, is that we didn't want those employees who get insurance for their families to have to pay in that premium to the broker. That makes it, so it was kind of unfair to the employee who had their family, because that fee was attached to that premium. To where Hub, the premium is the premium that the carrier offers us, and that's when you see that $16.33. That's the service fee that Hub charges us.
Okay.
And they haven't increased that in probably since we started with them.
No, it's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're looking at it and you're betting and everything else.
Yes,
my
but I mean,
point is
if,
that y'all are looking for
if we're instructed to go out to look at another broker, by all means,
Okay.
Well, one thing to think about too on the insurance bill, this is what I learned from being on the insurance board was, you know, you can always find a better price, but is it with a plus or a carrier? You know, you don't, just because they say it's the same thing, it may be written through a different company, and then it's not a very well backed company, so we save money, but then if we have something, then it turns into a
That
bigger deal.
and the service, I mean, you know, the service switch at Hub has been very responsive. Anytime Lisa or anyone in the district needs anything, they're very responsive, which, you know, goes a long way.
Yeah. All right.
And they know our business already, so.
Yeah.
Art, if I may, I'd like to include this with, I wanna go back to our investment report. Because we're dealing with insurance, we get the best rate. My question to you is, are we getting the best rate from our bank on our investment, on our CDs and so forth? And I always ask the question, when you go out for a CD, I know we make a phone call and so forth, but I like to see due diligence on, there's about 4 or 5 banks in town. I like to know that there's, and I know you're reaching out to them, sometimes they don't respond, but some way to show that we've already asked, in writing though, that, and then no response, and then pay the best man win. At the end of the day, whoever wants our money has gotta give us the best rate on a competitive level. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and any time I go out to bid, it is through email, so we do have that in writing, any backup of that sort, and whether they respond or not, then, you know, some banks do not at this moment. We haven't gone out in a while, due to the fact that we have most of the funds under our money market account, which Westar has provided the competitive rate with the treasury bill. I believe they've stayed competitive with that, just so that they can keep the money here in town than sending out. We are looking, with all the payments coming in with tax and with third quarter, I'll be going out in the next month or two. Also, I have my investment conference coming up, which is every 2 years that I have to attend. So I will be looking out and seeing what's out there for the district.
If you don't mind, just advise the board your process and how you came up to the selection.
Sure.
All right, anybody on that check report?
What is 18?
The recovery machine?
Yeah, what is that?
That is the AC recovery machine, so we could service the newer vehicles that are taking a different type of Freon.
Wow.
So you can do it in-house. Gotta have a licensed person to do that.
And that was a budgeted item, but
But the Freon changed in late
Yeah, I
24,
remember.
early 25.
Yeah. I had a man that I sent to get all the licensing on it and paid his classes and came and bought one of those machines, so we had it on our farm, so we do all our tractor work. And, of course, then he left and got a job for Texas, for Sun Metro, for Sun Metro or somebody like that. I don't know, that machine down there. But anyway, okay. Line 36, what are y'all doing giving that much money back to Lower Valley? They didn't use their, they didn't dewater as much as we thought?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But we
31.
did make about 57,000 on that project.
Okay.
But they still charge us for using their water, their fire hydrants to water.
That's potable water that we're using for our grinding
I'm
job.
just giving you a hard time, I'm just.
Yeah, well, they have dewatered about 150,000 with all the projects combined. They do an estimate, you know, prior to doing any work, contingent where the groundwater's at and how many wells, and they just do a quick analysis and submit a deposit check.
So I'm being facetious. I understand that they're using that.
It's not, in other words, it's not our money, you haven't even cashed a check, it's just sitting in your desk.
Yeah, it's sitting in an account that's a holding account.
Holding.
Yeah, so they were efficient on this one. Thank you for that.
All right, any other questions on the check report or the credit cards?
The, number 12, this last one, this is a big ticket item, but, you know, are we trending toward, I think we're investing in our infrastructure, is that what it is?
Number 12,
Turnouts and stuff like that?
The all data?
We have all data, yeah, you
Because
sent
we didn't get a
different
new
sheets out, we got different ones.
I got number 12 here saying $55,000.
Yeah, that's the new one.
The first note,
Okay, yeah, that's Bristol's valve, that's, just turnout parts for all our gates throughout the whole system. All our system runs off the same, off the same gates. So this is just restocking on our lids, our seats, the wheels on the turnouts. And then we had to order two, fairly large turnouts, one for the I-0 which failed. So, those parts are extremely expensive, but yeah, it's to restock our stock.
Is there a system, is there a logic to the madness on buying the capital improvements or whatever it is we do to our infrastructure? In other words, we know it's getting old,
Right.
but is there a system that maybe Al has implemented or that we're following, or is this a knee-jerk reaction, well, oh shoot, we better guys go to the store and buy some because we're ready now?
No, this is because a lot of things can cause damage to these things. One of the things is once a turnout starts leaking, that we send our repairmen out. We usually try to repair what's there. Unless it's been pitted, that the seat is already pitted, sometimes we'll grind it to try to get a smooth surface. But if it's pitted to where it's beyond repair, then that's when we go in there and replace it. But to say that we go out there and see our whole system, I mean, we've got thousands and thousands of turnouts. It takes some time to do it.
At the end of irrigation season, all the seniors drive their units and make a checklist of what needs to be done.
Does that make it into the budget? In other words, oh, this is what it's gonna cost us here.
Yes.
I think we're gonna need.
And then our warehouse folks and Pete and his supervisors look at our inventory for turnouts and parts. We use the same company because obviously we've got all the equipment that fit and all the tools that fit, so we stick with the same supplier. But yeah, we reach a certain threshold and we'll place a new order for new parts, which is what.
Okay.
I wanna compliment Pete and the district for, when you call, you guys, leaky turnouts, you guys do a good job.
Thank you.
They're there within about a week, repairing everything, which is very important to a lot of us farmers. Right, it is.
I called them yesterday on a drain, and this morning there was a supervisor.
They were there, so I just wanna compliment you on having your stock the way you got it and the way you guys do your work.
Thank you, appreciate you guys.
Job well done.
Yeah.
Could you drink out, compliment your cooking? So you just-
Keep your day job.
All right, what else you got, Mike? Everybody? Anything else? How about the credit card?
It's a hot seat you're sitting
Never been to one, George? This day. That's how fortunate that was.
You nervous, Jake? Sweating a little?
Never. Never.
See the wash man is going for it?
All right, Mary, got our legal budget.
yes.
Who told Ally had to catch up? I mean, what's going on? All right, let's go on. Thank you, Mary, I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you very much. Roads. So what'd you do with Sonia?
I'll just start off with the annual tax adjustments.
None.
And then for information purposes, we have the El Paso Public Service Board, and also known as El Paso Water, Low Valley Water District, and tax suits.
23 less tax suits?
That was an update we just got from the law firm.
Does it anything to do with the 20 years, or is that just?
No, these are
Those are
new
the
ones,
ones that they
yes.
sell, okay.
What we've been targeting is those, like you say, long-term accounts.
Yeah.
And we actually, they have been offered, like we were going there collecting. And,
Okay.
property owners are responding,
That's a good thing, yeah.
yes. And questions on those numbers?
Okay,
Our next report is our comparison, the 2023 tax assessment versus the 2024 tax assessment. Last year at the same time, we're at 89.408. Right now, we're at 89.5174.
hey, there's something happening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, we darn, okay.
And that's all I have.
That's it? Well, that sounds too easy, Rose, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Running a tight ship, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Rose.
Thank you, Rose. Jay? I think.
We had, yes, good morning. We had posted a bid for the shotcrete for
Oh, yeah.
the projects we had lined up. We have lined up for this non-irrigation season. And the bids came in and the shotcrete, the bid was awarded to GCC. So, yeah, we just need a resolution. We posted on the El Paso Inc. and went through all the protocols. And we received 3 bids, so we wanted to put it on here and get a resolution. Came in at $176.
Oh, $176.
Cubic yard.
Did we use them last year?
Yes, they came in, and, yes, we worked with them the past few years, and, their drivers have been, consistent and cooperative, and.
The product's good.
Yes, and
Product
yes,
is good.
exactly, the product is good. So, yes, we fibered up the fiber, so,
It used to be Cemex, right?
yes, Cemex.
The, is there somebody that represents them for you, for the district? In other words,
Yes,
that makes sure that
we have
that
a
you're a happy customer.
dedicated person, I guess, if you, we've got a few actually, so yes, they're very responsive as well, so that helps.
So Pete, are they?
They're doing good, yeah, you know, one thing I like about them is that they got a rep out there that stays all day at the project. So if any problems arise, they're taken care of immediately.
And then, do they have the testing? I know we do testing, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we're taking samples every
So
day.
do they do testing or in their plant?
Yes.
Before the truck? to
They
do
take-
Comparison?
They take their cores, and we have a third party that we've contracted with, and they provide us the cores, brakes as well.
One of the things that, in the business of vendors such as concrete, it's not necessarily about the price, usually it's about the service. And everything's great as long as everything's perfect. But when you really see the colors of the vendor is when things hit the fan. And how they take care of, let's call it a hot mix. And then you pour a bunch of concrete, then who's to blame? More times than not, you're gonna see the true colors. And if they walk away and don't wanna be accountable for that, that's when you know. But by then, it's too late, because it costs you a ton of money, because you gotta use your labor and so forth to tear it out and put it back in. Meanwhile, they take off fat and happy, because we really don't wanna, we're not in the business of suing anybody, we're in the business of getting these things done. So I think it's important, I think you've done a good job as far as vetting the 3. It's always good to have 3 vendors or to compare to. And if the low bidder is not the low bidder, we're not going with the low bidder, we're gonna go with who's the best value for the price. So.
Yes, no, thank
And
you.
we've experienced that.
Yes, Pete, we've, no, the product, we've been, GCC's, the deal with the shotcrete is the supplier needs to dedicate a fleet of vehicles solely for the shotcrete. And can't be mixing them with the regular ready-mix concrete to other locations. So that, in that sense, they need to take that into consideration on their end, if they can dedicate a certain amount of trucks just to that. Because if we get any large aggregate in there, it'll plug up the nozzle and cause problems. So that way they keep using that same truck, we know it's clean, and we don't have any problems out in the field when we're shooting, so.
And we also train our vendors of the competition or our market, that our standard is this level. If you wanna do work with us, this is the expectations of quality that we want. So it just rises everybody to the expectations, wherever that vendor might be. And you're doing the due diligence to make sure that they keep their standards up.
And I think we've experienced that, because there's been occasions where I've ran a certain company out and bring another company in from one day to the next. And they get the point real quick.
And I appreciate you being able, because we at least on the board, we'll support you when you do that. Because at the end of the day, if we can't support you on that, then your hands are locked, and then and then they know that when they smell blood, and then they end up just getting the work, just because they're low. So, all right, if it's okay. I'll make a motion to-
Sure, and you're asking for a motion to approve, did you say JCC or?
GCC?
GCC, okay. And Mike, you made a motion, we approved that bid, and Larry seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Very good, thanks. Next on my agenda here, I've got the district engineer's report. Al, do you want me to skip over to Enrique or Pete, or do you wanna say something?
I know how to do the updated water forecast that we do each month. Let me share the screen.
Okay. What, did you say you do wanna do that?
Yes.
All right,
Guys, can you see that project storage screen? Is that up there, Jay?
Yes.
yeah,
So, last month, it hasn't been quite a 30 days, but, so this is a little bit early in our report, but the increase is gonna be about 30,000 acre feet a month. That's what we predicted. And so it's only about half a month difference on those charts there, which really hasn't changed the combined storage very much. We were at 8% last time. We've gone up to 8.5% or something. So there's nothing really we didn't expect a whole lot. This is the inflow chart. It's got quite a bit of noise and you can see it bounce up and down, but where we were last month, we were still getting some water from the Avenue up north that was being transferred under the compact. So and I told you guys that was gonna drop off because the deliveries have been completed, and you can see it did drop off. So we're down here with the average inflow of about 500 CFS, which it equates to about 1,000 acre feet a day. So multiply by 30 days, you can get about 30,000. So that's not terrible, but it's not good. But at this time of year, we typically don't see much water coming into the reservoir because it should be in snow up above. So then unfortunately, if we go on to that, if we look at this is a chart. This one, the line above is last year and this is this year. So there's, that's our issue. We have significantly less water and storage going into this year. And so that's why we have to look at a late release. That there's no scenario that I can see that we're gonna, unless we had some very unique, 1 in 20, maybe 1 in 50 year event where there's a lot of rainfall, in between Albuquerque and us that came down the river and filled it up, that we could be released before June 1st. So our target date of June 1st hasn't changed. The snow report we gave you last month and this one, they get more reliable each month. This is the first one that I typically ever use for any forecasting. I think the January is very unreliable. We've actually gone down in our numbers significantly here. If we look at, and we expected that, by the way, because the previous numbers don't really mean a whole lot. We talked about that. If we look at Wolf Creek, which is our primary indicator on doing that, we were ahead a little bit from last year. Of course, last year was a bad year. I mean, last year we didn't get much input, but we plateaued and now we're behind last year, so we're actually worse. But we do expect, like you say, the most active time for snow is coming up upon us. March and April especially, in early April, typically we'll have some very heavy snowfalls. So with those atmospheric rivers hopefully continue to come over. If we look at it from the satellite view, is that the Colorado here, this is, from the 22nd to the 12th here, not a whole lot of change. So we haven't seen much of the snow accumulate, a little bit, but not enough to make any difference. In terms of the forecast, actually NRCS forecast they issued, we'll see that in a minute. They went down quite a bit since January. But again, January forecast is very unreliable. So I mean, this is the first forecast they're doing that we have any reliability in. So we'll look at that. The thing that is sort of frustrating is you can see that in the Colorado Basin that there's a lot of snow. And it almost seems to pick our boundary as to where the snow stops, right? So over in the San Juan Basin on the other side of Wolf Creek's right up here, and right on the other side of it, there's lots of snow, just not much in the Chama or the Colorado section. We get most of our water from right in this area where my cursor is, and unfortunately there isn't much there right now. This is the NRCS forecast. Like I say, they did one in January. I wish they wouldn't even bother doing it in January. So you can see that they're revised way down. These numbers weren't reliable, and so I don't read a whole lot into that revision down. It's just that now we finally have some numbers that have a little bit of reliability. So they're predicting pretty lousy conditions, 55,000 between now and July. You know, we're seeing 30,000 a month right now, so I don't think this is right either on doing it. So we'll have to wait till we get their March forecast. You know, this 10% forecast, we rarely see something like that on doing it. You know, this is all the way into July before we really get that water. So if we were to get in this case, a 10% event, then we could probably be looking at a full allocation. But we wouldn't get that water until June or July. So we've had some previous scenarios where we started off with a 12-inch or an 18-inch allocation and then went full before the end of the year. We ended up leaving water, but not being able to use all the water typically because it comes so late. But that gives us water to balance out for the next year. So we can't predict any of this right now, but NRCS, the average forecast for inflow is very low. I don't have confidence in that number in either of these, January or February at this point. So I'm doing it. If we look at the 30-day forecast, they improved a tiny bit, mainly on some of the drought moved, out of California into us. Temperatures again stayed above, not much change in the temperature outlook, but the size of the below monthly precipitations, once below average, that's gotten a little smaller, and we have an equal chance now to get average precipitations up in our watershed that we want. So that includes snow too. So that's the good news for the day is that but again, the 30-day outlets aren't very reliable either on doing it. But there's nothing spectacular about any, in other words, it's pretty much the same situation we had last month. It hasn't been, it could be worse, but it's not great. So it's sort of towards the lower end than what we would hope for. And I'll answer any questions you guys may have.
You're just full of good news there, Al. Are we gonna how do we let our farmers know this now? Just let the board members talk to everybody, or do we have another meeting? We don't think we need another meeting, or do we?
We don't need one at this
There's
time.
not much change, right? Yeah,
Just tell 'em.
we had mentioned in March, when we did have a meeting, that probably March, beginning of March, or after the March board meeting, we would
After
give them
March?
an update
Okay.
on, how it was looking, because we didn't anticipate, because we had it late January, so.
If y'all see anybody, just tell them like that, so you better not plant anything unless you can get well water too. Because you're not gonna have
And I think the word spread out pretty
pretty fast, yeah.
The meeting in March will be face-to-face somewhere.
Or Zoom.
Whatever you all decide,
I don't think the Zoom worked out that good. There were too many that couldn't get on,
okay.
Really?
wouldn't get on.
Okay, okay.
Just my opinion, I think the more interested ones are gonna show up.
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
whatever. Just, what best suits y'all let us know.
After next meeting, we'll decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It looks like a person we can get that way. Okey dokey. Enrique? How you doing? Okay?
Good. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Just to give you a little bit of history on return flow. I have to go back to 2023. Last year, we had a full allocation. We didn't have return flow. This year, from the start on the February 3rd till today, we watered about 850 acres. Versus 2023, we did almost 1,500 acres. And that's due to that water that we're not getting from downtown because of that project.
Yeah.
So we're about 30% less than what we did in 2023. So we're a little bit tight with that water, but we're letting those acres accumulate in certain areas. Once we're in there, we'll hit all those acres, and then we'll move that water out to a different unit or a different lateral.
What project are we talking about?
The American Canal,
Or,
the American Canal, lower reach, they're updating right there at Selling Basin. So we're not getting that water from the upper valley, from the drains that we typically have about 20, 30 CFS. That's another 1 or 2 irrigations that we can put on. And we probably won't see that water till late March.
Is that why it's, because it's not being diverted to a canal?
It's
or-
not diverted into the American Canal
And because of the project, or because somebody?
because of the
No,
project.
Because of the project.
Because of the project, yes. But what's helped is that 2 inches, we're doing the 2 inches. If we have a little bit extra, I mean, we'll work with farmers, but it's very tight right now. But we're on there, the majority of the acres are in Unit 9. So since we started taking orders, we've had about 6,000 acres. And right now, we're working about 800 acres active right now.
all right,
That's all I got.
all right, no, I appreciate it. Did Robert show you where he kept his flak jackets? Okay.
He's still looking.
He's like, they're around here somewhere.
All right, Ricky, thank you, appreciate it. All right, Pete?
Pete, I didn't get pulled out the clicker, I don't know if it's down there.
Yes.
Okay, you might have to turn it on.
Thank you, there you go.
Oh, no, Pete, did you get him a new clicker?
I can't find one big enough for his hand.
Did you give him a 15-minute?
Just at least an adult thing.
Right?
You know what, turn off the speaker.
Can y'all see that, on Zoom?
Oh.
El Rio?
You turned off the lights, no?
Yeah, can y'all see that on Zoom? Anyone? Maria? Ready?
Yeah, no, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I can't see if it's okay. I'll just listen carefully, at least for me. It's okay. I mean, I can generally, yeah, I can hear and I can see vaguely. But go for it.
Good morning. So, we've got several projects going on. Unfortunately, I can't show you pics of everything we got going because we just got so many, going on at the time.
Give me a second.
We do have right now at the moment, 2 turnout crews that all they're doing is repairing turnouts. We went ahead and started in the Unit 8 and 9 area prior to Enrique putting water in to try to get ahead of the water. And so right now, we're just jumping around, trying to get the canals that have no water in them. So right now, most of our crews are down at the Fabens and San Visario area. Okay, once we get more water in there, we'll move up to the Unit 7 area, being that's dry, and get Franklin Canal and the major canals that usually have water all year long. This is just part of the work that our warehouse, or not a warehouse, our welder does here in our welding shop. This bucket was fabricated from scratch. The only thing we used is this piece that is tied onto the arm. The rest of the bucket is brand new. We spent maybe a third of a fraction of what a brand new one will cost us. Okay, so this guy's gotten pretty good at these things, so we're gonna start building our own buckets for all our excavators, because all our excavators actually need new buckets. Let me see if I get this thing to work. Okay. There's our welding shop. The gentleman you see there building some of our gates, that's actually an intern from Western Tech that they send us every once in a while to do their internship. So we take advantage of them, then they build our checks for us, that later on in the presentation, you'll notice where we're dropping them into some of our canals. And I'll start off with the well crew. This is our well guys right now. What we're doing is we're going through every well that we saw that had a decline in production. We have found that Island Main 1 and Riverside 16, we've pulled them. We're gonna have to drop the cameras in them and see if they haven't shifted and see if if we can go in there and pop them and then re-sleeve them. So right now, in the moment, I'm trying to get some people together, give me some quotes on what it'll cost me to re-sleeve some of these wells. So far, we've come across 2. Then you see our guys there pulling the wells out. You can see there's the impeller, how it's broken at the end. So this will start, it's still pump, but it's dropping production big time. And then Island Main 2, as we all know, that area on the Island Main's a little, the water's not the best quality, but that's what that problem looked like.
Oh, my.
So
Wow.
we figured out why it ain't pumping.
Do you have a man on staff that analyzes what's going on and why, or do you take them to somebody?
No, well, we got a guy that, that's our well guy, and he's gotten pretty good at it. So, now what we do is most of our fabrication will go through, the old SNS, I don't know, it's still SNS and Phoenix.
Charlie?
So they do most of our shafts and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Right now, I'm working with, some gentlemen, I believe they're from Seminole, that Mr. Larry, introduced us to. So we're working with them, and we're also working with Acosta to see who will give us a better price and see who can actually go in there and do some of the work. But keep in mind that this well here has been in there since 2003 when
Sure.
the program was done, so.
Oh, that really was good.
Yes. And, you know, we're very fortunate that our wells have actually lasted this long, because I don't think they were made to last this long.
Pete, do they, have a system where you start them up every once in a while?
We try
After
to.
a few minutes every week or something, I think.
We
from
try
what I
to.
understand, that keeps them from corroding so much.
Yes.
It makes sense to wash it out.
We try to, George, we try to start them every year, at least for a week or so, and let them run for about a week or so.
Just for one time a year?
Well, and I mean, usually if Robert needs them between the year, we'll start them. But usually we'll start them only maybe once or twice a
So
year.
that's what I'm
If
saying,
it's a
whether you
full.
need it or not, if you start them and let it circulate, it get some of that crud out of there.
Okay.
Once, have a program, you do it once a month for just a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
I've heard that really does wonders.
Well, it's worth a try.
Yeah.
It's worth a try. We'll start doing that to see if it helps it.
Most of our farmers, George, do it once a year, like these.
Well, maybe that's why you're having to replace it so
That
often.
might be, it might be.
Well, keep in mind that this-
Sending a guy around once a month.
This well was installed in 2003,
Yeah, I've got.
so it's been there for 20 some odd years already. And the Island Main area, we've got a well there that I believe the TDS is about 4,000, so there's a lot of salt in that water, and that's close to that area.
Might be the good one, they got some 600 and 700, 7,000 in that area.
Right, and keep in mind that all our wells are between 90, well, pretty close to 90-60. So they're not deep wells. Okay, so here we got still the ponds. I'm still hauling dirt to the ponds. This is a contractor that is giving us the dirt. Rather than stockpile it, I'm putting it where I need it. Once L and J do what they gotta do here, then we'll start doing some more work inside the ponds. But for now, we're raising all the banks to assure that we've got the banks that are level, that we're not gonna have any type of overflow or anything like that within the wells. I really doubt we will. And then some of our little problems that we have, so I got code enforcement constantly on me, wondering where our drains look the way they do, and well, this is one of the reasons. You know, we got people that are dumping all their tires. This is there in the Sanelli area, and so I need to find the time to go pick all this up once we kind of get a little breathing room.
Wow. Oil and paint cans, too. Looks like.
Yes. Okay, then on the drain program, This is the west drain. This is the one over there by W Silver that we've been working on. This drain was extremely bad shape. There's sewer water going into this drain from the Anthony water treatment plant, water sewer, is that name of it, Jake? The one in Anthony? So, we were having problems here with Scene's farm, just because the water table's so low. So we've got the water to run,
Yes, sir.
and we're almost done with this drain. We've been on there for a couple of months now. It was in
Good shape.
extremely bad shape.
Wow.
There's another picture of, that's actually Scene right there on the left. We did some work on the riverside. This is right there, right above, Ángel Dominguez place, almost right below the heading of the Tornillo, I'm sorry. The Tornillo, so here, it started eroding kind of on the left side. So one of our fears was that that mobile home was gonna end up with the Tornillo, first of all. And of course, the burns and the silt that's accumulated.
Tires.
So just a couple of pictures, some of the work that went into that. Kind of what it looks like after we're complete with that. Okay, this is on the Sanelli Main by San Antonio Street. This bridge is actually owned by the city of San Isario. So I got them to go out there and clean inside the box culverts. We'll be meeting with them here and kind of educating them a little bit on what their responsibilities are, because apparently they're a little new at it. But they were very attentive to once I called them. And then this one is on the Tornillo Canal. This is just upstream from Hideaway Lakes by 5R. These are our guys, so we'll be one of our seniors is in there in that little truck here.
Wow. 5 hours headquarters.
Yes.
That's been there since I was a kid.
I got big
That
pieces
same
over
culvert,
here.
that same box culvert, yeah.
It was bad. And then, of course, our cement crew, we've got a crew of 4 guys. All these guys are doing is they're going down our cement line ditches, wherever they see any kind of bulk holes in the concrete or pieces of concrete missing, they're going in there and repairing the concrete line ditches. This is the wasteway we installed on the branch A. I think I had shown you some pictures a couple of months back. On a wasteway that we installed to see if we can help sluice out all the debris that is accumulated under the Walmart parking lot. There was an invert there quite a bit, so by dropping this, I think we will be able to sluice out that 750 feet of underground pipe. So here's a wasteway going up, and it's going straight into the Mesa drain. Also drop the floor. This one here, we're still gonna go back because we're gonna shotcrete that area there that we kind of broke out. I just pulled the guys out for now, being that right now our priority is down here in the Unit 8 and 9 area. This is a turnout that was paid by one of our constituents. This is on the Franklin Canal, just upstream from 1110 here. So it'll be a new turnout. Keep in mind that the customer pays for all the material that goes into it.
Go back a couple of pictures, please.
Can you back it up, Jake?
Yes.
I'll do this.
No, keep going. Oh, I see, okay, I thought, man, that'd be a hell of a call guy to turn that one on with. Okay, let's see what it is.
Okay, then the gates that these interns are building, here you see it, before and after. These gates, we're actually having to torch them right down the middle, at least the stationaries. Torch them down the middle to be able to get them out. This is over by check 8, and then this is check 11, where you see the condition of those gates. So we've done, I would say, we've installed about, pretty close to about 20 to 30 of these check gates already, as of today. And we're still building gates.
You can sure tell they needed it, though, you saw that big old hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the new check structure that we're building on the 154. The check structure that was there was an extremely dangerous, it was actually extremely unsafe. The walkway was almost collapsing, and I was getting a lot of water going around the structure. So we built a new structure just upstream of the old one. See the old one right below there. So we'll be using all the material or the gate and everything from the old one and installing it here on the new structure. This area here, I need to replace also. There used to be a culvert here that was also already corroded. So we did pull the culvert out. We'll be removing the one just upstream from that one too. Both those culverts are private crossings for farm, so they are paid by the landowners. This is just an area that we were given dirt for the island main. So what we're doing is we're taking out a clay, we're dropping it about a foot to 2 feet, getting the good clay out, and then coming back and filling those holes with sand, the sand that we're pulling from the island main. You see we're hauling everything out. Then, of course, this is all going into the island main. This is the island main here. So what we do is we dowel into the old structures to kind of tie one concrete into the other, make it a one piece. Right now, everything up to this point here is, well, actually, no, that's not the upstream. Well, up to that point there, shotcrete and everything's being completed. The earthwork here will be completed by this week, and I'll be moving that equipment out to different areas that we need them. And all we're gonna be missing here is the concrete work. And we started concrete 2 weeks ago. We've done approximately 1,200 feet already, and we need about another 2,000. We'll be able to, our goal was to do 4,000, and unfortunately, we cut that in half, so we'll be able to do between 3,300 to 3,500 feet. So we almost hit our goal.
It looks damn good.
Very good.
Come a long way.
Yes. We've got good guys, good operators out there.
You're putting plenty of clay on the sides?
Yes. Everything that we're bringing in is clay.
It's clay.
Yes, and in fact, the dump trucks were done with all the work we need, so what I asked them to do is continue up on the island main to put on top of the banks, because those banks are extremely sandy.
Right.
So that's gonna help.
That's what I was getting.
Yeah, and then this area here, I'm gonna bring some of that adobe and put it on top on the banks, and that should pretty much make those banks solid.
Solid, yeah.
How do you break out your crews? Concrete crew, do they do everything, or how many do you have?
Well, on the concrete crew, on the small crew, it's only 4 ditch riders. Or is there one of my guys in there? There's 3 ditch riders and a maintenance guy there. So we usually try to get them, we get it with experienced people to where we start getting them the experience. Right now, my shotcrete crew is probably the most, least experienced shotcrete crew that we've had. So I do have some experienced guys in there, but I got a lot of rookies. So everything goes a little slower. But by next year, those guys are gonna be right up there with the.
We've been
the guys
doing
with
this for,
experience.
what, 12 years, 15 years maybe?
I'm sorry?
How many years have you been doing this? 15 years, let's say? When did we start?
Been at it 40, but you talking about shot
No.
creator?
We bought our first machine out of South Texas somewhere, used or whatever.
No, we actually bought our first machine from a gentleman here on North Loop and Alameda.
But it was used,
It was used.
right?
Yes.
So that was what, 15 years ago? Something like that.
2010.
2010?
Yeah, so I was here. So my point is, we didn't know nothing. Man, we didn't even know which end of the hose was. So we had humble beginnings.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, I don't know if there's an apprenticeship program or a system that, like you say, rookies, because they retire or they go on or somebody steals this from us.
Right.
But there's gonna be a process, so we're not caught with just rookies, so there's always so I don't know if that's what's happening, or that's what you're trying to.
That is what happened, when we used to go to the World of Concrete,
Right,
you know, we haven't had a chance because we've just been so busy,
right,
is that, we would go to those classes for the shotcrete. That
Right.
was what we were targeting, is the shotcrete classes. So they got classes for your nozzleman. I mean, you can actually get certified as a nozzleman.
right.
You know, my nozzleman, my best nozzleman right now, he's also my herbicide guy. But he's been doing it for so long that he's got that to the T. And, the good thing about it is most of our guys wanna learn it, so they'll ask, can I go up there with my?
Well, let me ask you, is it worth going to the training? to
Oh,
do this?
definitely.
Because at the end of the day,
Definitely.
I go back to being, me from California, nozzlemen, shotcrete guys, they're worth the weight in gold, basically. Only because of the area, you come to El Paso, Texas, they don't even appreciate them. But at the end of the day, you appreciate them when you don't have them. So this is where the training comes in. So if we're not gonna continue to train our people, we gotta really think about what are we doing? Are we really in the business of shotcrete, or are we not gonna train our people? So I emphasize training, I've always had, and if there's a need to train them, I'm gonna ask you people to speak up and say to the board, hey, we need to train our guys. But unless we speak up, we're gonna keep getting these rookies.
Right.
On-the-job training can get hurt, production is slow, and then we're not really in the business of shotcrete. So then we have to get into the business, outsourcing this business we're in. So either we're serious or not, so I'm looking for input from the field, so we don't get ourselves in a situation where we have a 5-man crew who has no clue what they're doing, and one bicycle that's trying to teach them, and that's no way to run a shotcrete.
Well, you know, it's very beneficial, these classes are very beneficial. Now, the good thing about it is that, you know, unfortunately, when you get these rookies, you lose your guys with experience to, I mean, we just lost two of our best guys to the sheriff's department, you know, just a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago. You know, and these were two guys that were experienced in shotcrete. The good thing about it is the shotcrete crew usually takes about 13 men, okay? So out of those 13, I've got at least a good 6, 7 that are still experienced.
Good.
So those guys are the ones teaching these new kids, because now we're getting new kids that are coming in here that have never been ditch riders.
They're hungry,
You know, and,
What is good to see, there's a lot of youth, I mean, it is.
Yes,
good to see.
yes,
yes.
they're hungry.
so all they need, is like they say, the more you do it, the better you become. And so we try to keep the same crews. So our shotcrete crew is pretty much consists of the same guys that do it year after year after year. And the more they do it, the better they become.
And you're gonna lose some of them, so that's gotta be
Yes.
part of the equation, so,
Yes.
you know, it's almost.
So to say that we need bring maestros or get away from it, no, I think we're doing pretty good. The World of Concrete for the shotcrete classes, yeah, they help. They show you techniques that you might not know, that you think you're doing it right, but in reality you're not. So yeah, they do help. But I think the way our program is designed and the way we're working it has been working great for the district.
Good.
And I think we're, you know,
We wanna
as
get
you
back.
can see,
I
you
can
know.
see. When we started, you never straightened out the top edge.
No.
That was crap, lack of a better
Yes.
word.
You're
And I didn't know how to
absolutely
break you guys' hearts to tell you those crap, but then you learn on the process, and look at the difference between then and now.
right. No, you're absolutely
It's
right.
not about, it serves the purpose before, but at the end of the day, people see a nice straight line, hey, they know what they're doing. People, but it serves the same thing, do you want a straight line or do you want a rag jagged line?
No, you're absolutely right. You know, if I get somebody wants me to show them, shotcrete, I know where those areas are at. I will take them over there. Trust me.
Just saying.
Okay, and, one of the things we have done is, if we come across a turnout during the project that is in bad shape, we do replace it. This is a culvert or a turnout that had to be replaced. The other one, the concrete part of it, was falling apart. You know, the pipe and the turnout, repairable. Once the concrete starts falling apart, it's gotta be replaced. And here the turnout's already been installed. And here are my guys with shotcrete. There's the finish.
That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Wow, very
Look
good.
at that, look at that. Pretty amazing.
So right now, we're shooting a total of 8 trucks, we're doing 80 yards a day. Okay, so, of course, yesterday we had to cut off early because of the winds, and today, we're probably gonna do just about 5 trucks this morning. But, yeah, we'll do about 80 yards. We cover approximately about 60 feet per truck.
Very good, good, very good.
Okay.
Impressive.
Any questions?
How many yards is each truck?
10 yards, JCC brings, or GCC brings us 10-yard trucks.
And 60 feet.
Yes, 60 feet per truck.
Good work, Pete, it looks good, looks
Thank you.
great. And yeah, keep training, like Miguel said, we got training, but I like the way you're doing it, you only bring in the rookies, you're doing good. And they're, okay,
Thank you.
Great job, Pedro. Thank you.
Thank you.
let me look here, order color allocation, I don't think he's gonna do that one, are we? Let's go to, the chair says he needs a 5-minute break, so 5 minutes, right now.
Right here.